Do you like coffee fragrances? If you do, stay tuned. Intro. Welcome back after that short intro. So, you like coffee slash gourmand fragrances? This one has been on my list for like a month and a half. I had a sample for a good 2 weeks, and then I had to go and grab a full bottle, and it's from the house of Carthusia Profumi di Capri, and it is Terra Mia. Quickbox presentation on the top, name of the house. On the back, you have size, concentration, and ingredients. I believe the side is the perfumer with the year, which says 2017 and something Esposito. And on the bottom, you have your batch code and barcode. Quick look at the bottom. Real Chanel-like to me. Glass kind of looked like crystal a little bit. Company name, once again, Carthusia. Terra Mia. Not sure what that is, like an elf or look like an elf with black face. Top of the bottle have the Carthusia crest. Not sure if you can see that at all. And on the bottom, you have your batch code. Atomizer, pressurized, very good atomizer. So with that being stated, let's get into this opening notes. Opening notes, you're going to get fruity, bright. Hold on, let me. You're going to get bright, fruity, pepper, roasted coffee off the muscle. I mean, it's going to, all those notes or chords is going to hit you. When I say bright, this bergamot is very bright. It's very fruity. It does state it has neroli in the top notes as well. I don't get much neroli. I get a lot more bergamot, but I'm going to assume that the neroli is giving it some of the brightness, and like it's like fresh. It's not too dense. It's like kind of an airy, bright freshness from the neroli and the bergamot. Pink pepper is giving it its spice, and it's like this roasted coffee at the top. All of those is just beautiful. When I like the bergamot, to me is the main fruit that stands out. It stands out a lot more than the neroli because the bergamot is extremely prominent from the opening spray up until maybe 45 an hour, into, the opening going into the mid or early dry down. The pink pepper is also prominent, extremely prominent for like that first 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, it dies down, but it never leaves. You're going to get that spiciness, maybe the first hour, hour and a half. I think the pink pepper with the roasted coffee, it just sets it off from being, extremely just fresh or fruity or extremely gourmand. I mean, I believe that all of that, being said, I mean, the opening, I would have to give it maybe an 8 out of 10. You understand the joy I get from smelling this thing. I mean, it's like as the opening dries down and the mid goes, bergamot gets pushed to the back burner. The roasted coffee turns to a creamy, sweet, delectable coffee like the best coffee beans, and you added, the purest water, and then you topped it off with the creamiest hazelnut creamer. I mean, it's just perfect. The spices is still in there to make it, it's gourmand leaning, but it's not just like cloying sweet gourmand. Sweet, tart, jammy is what I can say is that, that dry down from the first hour to like the fourth and a half hour of it. The sweetness is going to come from the coffee and the hazelnut. The tartness is going to come from like this orange blossom that's, kind of still, once again, making it, aromatic to where it doesn't sit heavy. it does not sit heavy, but it like diffuses in the air. It's just beautiful. And then the jamminess, it has rose in the mid. You can kind of get a little sweet rose or the rose. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a jammy rose. You know, it's still going to be a little sweet from the hazelnut and the coffee, but the rose just adds a whole nother dimension to it to where it just comes off jammy to my nose. And once again, the combination of all of those, especially with that orange blossom, is going to leave an impression on anybody who comes around you. They may think you just had a cup of coffee or you spilled one on you. I mean, it's like it's it's a very good coffee fragrance with a extremely great aromatic, tendency, at least for that first 4.5, 5 hours. Just check my notes. So yes, pretty much. So then once all of that goes down around the 6.5 hour mark, when you get into them base notes, it's pretty much it's gonna be like the sweet, creamy, woody scent. I believe that's maybe from the amber wood still combined with the coffee and hazelnut from before. I don't get a heavy sense of ambroxan, but what I do believe the ambroxan is doing is, giving this a lot of push off the skin and the longevity factor, because I'm going to get to that later. But the ambroxan is definitely, just pushing it out, giving it, you're gonna fill up half a room at least. 1, 2, 3, 5 sprays. You're definitely gonna fill up, a half a room, a whole room at the most. It says it has musk in the base. I mean, it's there, but it's not there because it's, pretty much a clean musk, especially with everything else that's going on with it. But from, a scent profile, I have to give this, once again, from the smell of it, this is definitely an 8.5. I don't really, I have some other fragrances that have coffee in it that I enjoy just as much, but for this to be a coffee dominant fragrance, it's slowly becoming one of my favorites. Now, performance, I put it on at 8:43 yesterday morning. I got usable. I mean, when I say usable, projection and performance up until around that 3:45, 4 o'clock hour mark, to where it was still, like pushing off my skin. Around the 6.5 hour mark of the, of me wearing it the last few times, and these is averages because I've been wearing it on and off, since I grabbed my bottle. But even at the 6.5 hour mark, it was still like 2 to 3 inches above skin level, to where you can still, smell it really good. You're not filling up no room no more. It's more so close encounter, intimate encounters is where, people around you can smell it if they're in your bubble. Around that 8 hour mark is where, okay, it's a dead skin scent. Well, I'm not going to say dead skin scent, but it's definitely a skin scent at this point in time, to where you had to dig your nose in, but it was still so good and just like lively. Like, this thing got legs. And the thing about me wearing it yesterday, for a few of my, 15-minute breaks, I smoke cigarettes, I go outside. That cold air is about 33 degrees. It would just lift it back up and get in the air. Just like, man. So performance, I'm going to give that about an 8, 8.5. Because once again, as a skin scent, it can go up until the 11-hour mark. But, just for usable longevity, and what I consider usable longevity, for the fact that it's a strong 6.5 hour, fragrance until it dies down as a skin scent, get very intimate, and then it can still go another 3 to 4 hours. I'm gonna give the performance an 8. Sillage for the first hour, hour and a half was just enormous. I mean, it's past the arm's length. It wasn't until that 1.5 hour mark, until the 3 hour mark, is to where it became, arm's length. Then from that 2.5 hour mark to around the 4 hour mark is where it was just like, okay, half arm, quarter arm's length, still getting it out there. Once again, it like the sillage on this, it's going to leave a trail for like pretty much the first 4 hours of you wearing it. It's after that 4.5 hour mark. Once again, now they can't smell that you entered the room, but if you walk past them, they can smell it for the fact it's just going to emanate off, the back of your neck, your arms, wrist, however you spray it. So versatility on this one. I would say it's pretty versatile. I mean, just to me and just my style and the way how I think about wearing this fragrance. Fall and winter, absolutely, day or night. Spring season, I would probably say more nighttime. I mean, you can wear it during the day as well in the spring, as long as it's not 75, 80 degrees. I think you can pull it off. Summer, I wouldn't even try to wear it in the summer, just due to the fact of the sweetness of it. It's not like it gets cloying, but I believe it could get cloying in 75 to 80 degree weather. But fall, winter, spring nights, daytime and nighttime in the fall, your date nights, going out to dinner, going out for, if you're going out for coffee, a casual, day party setting, you can wear this. I wouldn't wear this, with just a t-shirt on. I feel like this is definitely polo button up, cardigan sweater worthy, for the fact it's gonna give you this coziness. And it's funny for the fact the juice is not dark at all, but it's just like this sweet, intimate coffee, sweet, tart, jammy. I think that would be the 3 best adjectives or words to describe this fragrance. I mean, all in all, I'm going to give this fragrance about, I would give it an 8. And the reason why I say I would give it an 8, because this has coffee in it as well. This House of Oud Great Pearls. And I like it just a tad bit more than this. But this Great Pearls also have a little bit more going on, different nuances. But for this to be a coffee fragrance, and it does have the sweet, tart, jammy, bright, peppery aspect to it, this is definitely like an 8.25. So there we have it. That's my, I'm going to wrap this up, my review on Terra Mia from Carthusia. If you do have this, let me know in the comments, because for this to be a niche fragrance, and a very good niche fragrance at that, this 50 ml was $80, which is phenomenal for niche perfumery. I mean, extremely phenomenal. So if you do have this, let me know in the comments how you feel about it. Hell, if you don't have it, but you like what I'm saying, let me know, how you feel about even this review. Is this something that you would want to grab, no matter if you already have 2 to 3 coffee fragrances, or if this will be your first one? Just let me know. Like the video. You're only helping the channel to grow. Please don't forget to subscribe. Once again, it's free. It takes really no effort. You're helping the channel to grow. It'll definitely dictate what type of videos I put out. Generally, I like doing, reviews more than I like top 10 lists. But if you want more top 10 lists, I'll do that. If you want more reviews, I'll do that. But until the next, video, let's grow and evolve together. In this book of life, turn to the Paige of Stylez. Y'all be blessed and walk in peace.